today's slate. So when you get the chance, make sure you go check that out. And today we're going to dive right into tomorrow's slate, starting with Santa Clara in Kentucky, which is clearly becoming one of the hottest picks of the first round. 62% of the public are on Santa Clara, plus 3.5. That is a tight spread. I, as much as I hate to say this, almost lean Kentucky just because I think that, Mark Pope in his first year, he got to the Sweet 16. Say what you want about the guy. They're banged up. I get it. But I think that they're scrappy. I mean, how many games does this team come back from 15, 20 down? They're scrappy. They're going to find a way to win. I think that minus 155 is great value in Kentucky, especially if you throw it into a parlay. So I won't be taking it because, I would just be sick to my stomach to bet on them. But I think they get it done tomorrow. But I know a ton of other people are on the other side and think Santa Clara, gets it done. So
yeah, no, that's I think that one's a tight one tomorrow. I definitely want Santa Clara to do it just for my personal enjoyment, seeing BBN melt on X. But I do think Kentucky gets past this one. And then after that, you got Akron, Texas Tech, which is, I think, a hell of a matchup.
Maybe the most popular upset pick of the first round. And the public, with their dollars, reflect that. Almost 70% of the spread bets are on Akron and almost 30% of the money. So, I think that one is kind of trappy because Grant McCasland can really coach. And JT Toppin's out. But a team that's well coached, and I'm going to tie this back to Louisville, a team that's well coached, and y'all say what you want about Pat Kelsey. He's the right guy for this job. But a team that's well coached is able to rally their players around a common opponent, and sometimes that common opponent is an injured player, where you literally take the guys who are able to play, able to be out there, and you're like, fuck what anybody has to say about this team, picking Akron, picking USF. So I wouldn't say that they cover, but I think Texas Tech gets it done. Unfortunately, the money's at minus 325, so you probably have to throw that into a parlay. So.
Yeah. And then Long Island, Arizona, this was just a total skip for me.
Too big spread.
Yeah. Virginia, Wright State. I have Virginia going pretty deep in the tournament.
Me too.
But I don't know that I like them to win by 18.
Yeah, that's
just too many points right there. Yeah. Tennessee State and Nolan Smith against Iowa State. That's something there. Iowa State's a weird team. 24.5 is a lot of points. I'm not too big on Nolan Smith as a coach.
I'm not taking that.
But yeah, no, that one's a skip for me. Alabama, Hofstra. A lot of people are fading Alabama in this one.
Yes. Alabama's a few pounds lighter this week. Without Aiden Holloway. I don't know if you saw that, but he got arrested for selling pot. And the guy makes like $750K a year in NIL. So what are you doing? For the love of the game, I guess. Alabama, that is a huge piece to be missing. Guy's averaging 17 points a game, shoots the lights out, along with LeBaron Philon, makes that thing go. Nate Oates, knowing his principles, will probably have Holloway out there in an orange jumpsuit today in warm-ups. So maybe the kid plays. No, he probably won't. But, I love Hofstra plus 11.5.
Yeah, same. And then after that, Utah State, Villanova. This is an interesting one. I know Matt's a big fan of Utah State. Every time we bet on them, they shit the bed. So I'm not going to take that tomorrow, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm not too opinionated on that game there.
Me either. I would lean just taking Nova plus 1.5. That's my lean right now. But the next game, I think, is my favorite. And in Miami, Ohio against Tennessee, I mean, take that plus 11.5 to the bank because they're going to cover. Now, the public seems to think they're going to win as well, or a large portion. 41% of the money bets are on Miami, Ohio, which is crazy. I think at the end of the day, that's just, it's Rick Barnes versus Travis Steele. Both good coaches. Obviously, Travis Fields had success at Xavier in the past. I would still lean Tennessee, but Miami, Ohio plus 11.5.
Yeah. I think Tennessee there, I would take them first half spread -6.5. I would not take it for the whole game though at all.
Yeah, they might lose. Like, I'm telling you that I think that they, end up getting it done, but I'm not confident in that at all.
Yeah.
Miami, Ohio, if they shoot the way they did last night, this dude freaking Scaljac's got a fractured hand, and he's still clipping shit with his left hand. Take notes, Michael Brown Jr., because some of these guys want it more than you do.
They do.
But Scaljak, Peter Sugar, whatever the hell these guys' names are, they can flat out ball.
Yeah. And then Iowa Clemson right after that is interesting. I don't think Clemson's a bad team. I just don't think they ever get it done in March. No. So if they win this one, they're not.
Best player on the court wins this game. Bennett Sturts will be the best player on the court by a square mile. He's got a long NBA career ahead of him. I would put your mortgage on Iowa -2.5. I hate fading the ACC like that. Brad Brunell's from Evansville. Shout out, Brad. But they're going to get their asses kicked tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be that good of a game.
Yeah. And then St. John's, Northern Iowa. I was kind of shocked this spread was only 9.5.
Yeah.
I think St. John's, like as Rick said, they're just what kind of hurt them seating wise is how weak the Big East was. With some of their losses, they're not being great.
They're really like a 3 seed.
Yeah, no, I'm really confident they're 9.5 tomorrow. I think that's absolutely free money there.
Yeah, I would parlay my play tomorrow on St. John's. Is parlay their spread with Zuby Ejiofor to maximum amount of rebounds the book will let you take. I mean, the guy was conference defensive player of the year, and I think he was he conference player of the year too. He might have been. The guy is an animal. Take it to the bank that Rick Pitino will always have an insanely good big guy down there to snag boards, and Zuby Ejiofor is that guy. I mean, the line is probably insane on his rebounds, but let's actually see what it is. Yeah, it's ridiculous. 7+, it's -200. So, I mean, do what you want there. Maybe take it alternate, but I think he gets 10 rebounds tomorrow. So.
Yeah, no, that's good. UCF, UCLA, I think I'm all over UCLA here, but part of that is just because like I said in the previous one, I want to see that matchup in around the 32 of Mick Cronin and Hurley. Just absolutely lose their mind.
Who gets thrown out first?
Yeah, I mean maybe both. So that's just a battle of insanity there. But I think they cover that 5.5. I don't think it's that crazy.
No, I don't think so either. I like that.
Purdue is a weird team. But the 25.5 there, I would not touch that either way. Their first round matchup for me is just straight skip. I have them losing in the second round, but I don't think they're going to choke that bad tomorrow. Florida and Prairie View is essentially the same way. 35.5 points, going to have to skip that one. But after losing, getting put out early in the SEC tournament, don't expect them to lose again back to back. What do you think about Cal Baptist from Kansas?
So Cal Baptist has this insane point guard who's averaging, I think, right behind Devonsa. I think he's averaging like 24 points a game. The guy's insane. I was listening to Field of 68 the other night, and they were talking about Cal Baptist coach and this team. I like them plus 14.5. I think Kansas is the type of team where, based on my experience betting on them in the past in Samford, where Samford got absolutely screwed. Shout out Samford. But that Kansas typically doesn't cover in the first round. I think that they're going to probably sweat this one out, just like Samford, and, maybe win this game by 5 points. And then, they'll probably make a run to the Sweet 16 because they got Bill Self and Darren Peterson and Ricky Council and freaking Floyd Badunga. I mean, that roster is insane. That they could cut down the nets in theory. I just don't think they play well enough together to do that, which is a big piece to the puzzle. So I like Cal Baptist plus 14.5.
Yeah, and then like you said earlier, Furman, Connecticut. A lot of people are thinking that like if there's a 2 seed to win, it is that one. I'm not buying that hype there at all.
Yeah, I mean the public's all over UConn. I think minus 20.5. They probably cover it. Like I mentioned in the first live, I do think a 2 seed goes down. I'm not going to say for sure who, but I think this year, we're due for, a top seed to go down again. So, maybe that one, I would just take the over It's only 136. So I think that's probably a good play because UConn might put up 90 themselves. So
literally. And then the last one there should be Miami and Missouri.
okay, NCAA selection committee. You fucked Miami so unbelievably hard. How in the hell do you give a 7 seed, a true road game in St. Louis against Missouri? Jai Lucas, you are much more patient of a man than I am because I would be at the doorstep of the NCAA headquarters in Indianapolis raising hell. That's unbelievable. If the roles were reversed and Miami was the 10, I wouldn't care so much. But the higher seed having to play, and I know we did it last year in Lexington. Crimea River Creighton fans, you won anyway.
Yeah, we were the higher seed though, so like it proves your point.
Right. So I mean, yeah, it's fine if you're the higher seed. So
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. But I do like Miami.
Yeah, I still think that -2 is free money. I also have Miami beating Purdue in the next round.
Ooh, spicy.
Just because I think Purdue's due to choke after they've won their Big Ten championship. So that's all I've got today.
Yeah, that's all I've got. Let's go Cards.
Make some money.
Let's do it.